Yeah?
Done.
Okay, good. Look, ladies and gentlemen from all over the world, welcome very, very much to my very first, looks like Nisi is in as well. Ha ha! I've just got an apology from somebody who's going to try and get with us in about 5 minutes. Welcome to everybody from all over the globe, and that's what we're in, a global business, which is very, very exciting, and that's why I'm so excited about it. Today, it's my honor to introduce Carla Silva to you. Carla is a seven-figure earner in this industry. She's a best-selling author. She's been voted in the top 50 internet marketers in the direct sales industry in the world. And more importantly, she got started in this opportunity that we're talking about today, went diamond in her first week. Now that is remarkable. She's telling me I can do the same. I'm relying on her to teach me how. And in turn, I'll teach you. How's that? While going diamond probably doesn't mean anything to you right now, what it signifies is important. Carla got started here, and in her first week, she brought in over $50,000 in business. She did this not by bringing a big team. She accomplished this because she got a few people started and then turned around to help them make money, which is exactly what I will do with you guys. That's the plan. We help each other, and we help each other, and we help each other, and the whole thing starts to snowball from there, and that's the master plan. Now, in a very few short weeks later, this is Carla. I'm back to Carla again now. She's a grand diamond, which means she's brought a team in. Her team has brought in over 150,000 revenue in 1 week. Now that's pretty impressive stuff, Carla. So I think I've extolled your virtues sufficiently. So Carla, great to have you here, and thank you very much for handling this for me, because I'm a newcomer here as everybody else is. So would you take it away from here? Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I just want to double check you can hear me and see me okay, everybody? Awesome. Fantastic. And Christopher, thank you so much for that tremendous introduction. Sometimes I think when people read all that stuff, I'm like, who is that girl? Because I'm nothing special. Honestly, I believe in a couple of things. And people are always asking me, Carla, what is your secret? And how did you get to be, and sorry guys, I'm a little sarcastic too at the same time, a Grand Poobah, Leprechaun, Triple Diamond, these companies have weird names for their achievements. How did you get to do that, right? How did that happen for you? And I have a really, really super simple process or system for myself. It's really easy. First and foremost, I came to this industry because I had been downsized in corporate America. Obviously, I'm American. Welcome to all of you from all around the world. But I had been downsized, and I came to a point in my life where I realized that I had to reinvent myself. I had to decide to become a different person in order to have different results. So I came up with this very, very super simple process. It's a 3-step process for success. It's number 1, who you work with is incredibly important. Who you work with, number 1. For example, if you want to be the greatest swimmer in the world, if you had the opportunity to be coached by Michael Phelps, you take it, right? If you want to be a great basketball player and Michael Jordan decides to coach you, you would do whatever it took, right? So who you work with is incredibly important. Number 2, timing is everything. Timing is everything. And I guess I don't need to tell you that that expression has been around forever, because it's true. And number 3, which is the key to it all, is the good old-fashioned word work. Not everybody's willing to put in the work, develop new habits, just like anything else when you're starting something and you're looking to have dramatically different results from what you've had in the past. You've got to get to work, not just on yourself, but doing everything that your mentor and your team tells you to do. And that isn't always fun. I have to totally admit that. So we're here today. I am so blessed to be working with Christopher. I just have some tremendous, tremendous respect for him in the marketplace. And obviously you do too. That is why you are here and why so many of you have joined us. I think I counted 4 continents on this particular Zoom. So congratulations on meeting us here. I'm going to say something pretty bold. What we're going to share with you could, if you choose to join us, dramatically change your life going forward. And I know that sounds markety and hypey, but I'm just going to drop some facts here at the beginning of our conversation. The information that I'm going to share with you today has one person on our team made over $2.5 million in the last 12 months. $2.5 million. There are 7 people that made over, and we're going to talk in dollars because that's just easiest. Everybody understands dollars. 5 people made over $750,000. One couple made over $4.5 million. Another couple made over $7.5 million. Over 500 people on our team only have hit the 10K per month, 10K per month benchmark. So we're not messing around here. These are big numbers. Obviously we're sharing some monster numbers for a company that is just getting started. We just finished what I consider our first wave, obviously, that we've had a lot of results, and you're going to find out why really, really shortly. And I'm going to share my screen, so just give me a second to do some of the housekeeping there. And while I share my screen, before I do that, I want to say we are a professional company. It's really important for us to stay compliant around the world, and therefore I'm not going to be in any place saying that you're going to make $4.5 million. We're all adults here, right? We're all adults, and I'm not saying that you're going to make 4.5. I'm not going to say that you're going to make 1. Practicality dictates that everybody's results are going to be varied, right? We're all unique and different. It takes hard work. There's that word. There's that word, work, and to make a substantial income in this business. But I don't know if you're going to sit on the couch, eat Doritos, and watch Game of Thrones, or if you're going to get busy with us. So I'm hoping, of course, that you're going to get busy with us, but obviously we are going to start this conversation today with the income disclaimer, again, because we want to stay compliant with all of the governmental agencies all over the world. So today I'm going to start with a Bill Gates quote. The secret of success in business is detecting where the world is going and getting there first. This is referring back to my number 2, which is timing is everything. So the company we're going to talk to you about today, the company's name is World Global Network. They are a 6-year-old company. Many of you aren't here in the United States, but they've only been in the United States for a year. They're a publicly traded company. The company's vision is to be the largest, I guess biggest would be the better word, biggest home-based business, technology-based company. It's never ever happened before where regular people get to be a part of a technology play. Now face it, guys, almost all the big money in the world is being made in the technology sector, right? You don't have to go any further than the big 5. Facebook, Google, Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but this is the very first time that it's been regular people like you and me have been put in a position to be able to capitalize on the technology play. The company, as Christopher so brilliantly mentioned at the beginning, and you guys are a perfect representation of this, the company is a global company. They're already in 195 countries around the world. They have offices around the world. They've already built the infrastructure so people like you and me, again, can take advantage of the technology play. The company has a AAA rating by the Direct Sales Association. Now, I don't want to gloss over this. I know we're in PowerPoint and people's eyes glaze over when they're watching PowerPoints, but I want to make sure you understand what this means. The Direct Sales Association is the governmental body that governs the entire home-based business industry as best they can, right? This is an enormous, there are over 180 million people in the direct sales industry and probably millions, maybe even billions of products out there. It is a 2-year legal process just to apply, let alone have a AAA rating by this august organization. The company is probably blew through this number last year, but in the middle of last year, it was ranked number 83 in the world. And the company's partnered with a small little 100-year-old, 50-year-old, 100-year-old, $50 billion company named Toshiba. And I'm going to tell you this. It's not every day that a company comes to a home-based business company and says, we want to buy you. And that's exactly what happened about a year and a half ago. Toshiba caught wind of the technology that I'm going to talk to you about today and came to World Global Network and said, hey, we want to buy this. We think this is going to be huge. We want to buy it. And the president of our company, the CEO, said, no, we're going to continue on our path. It is not for sale. So Toshiba went back and did their due diligence on the company, and a couple months later said, listen, if we cannot buy it, we want to be your partner. And obviously contracts were signed, hands were shaken, and a partnership was born with a blue chip company by the name of Toshiba. So we're very proud to call them our partner. They took us to the Consumer Electronics Show 2 years ago, and we of course featured them in our booth this year at the Consumer Electronics Show. So we're going to be talking about wearable technology today. I happen to be wearing our Premier device here on my arm. And this slide, there's a lot of information on it, but what I just want to point out to you, again, if you can see that the world is going someplace and you can get in front of the money, timing is everything. So the Forbes, and I'm not going to go into all of this information because it would bore all of us to death, but let's just take one statistic. Forbes has said, and this statistic's pretty low in comparison by a lot of other measurements, that the wearable tech market will be worth $34 billion by 2020. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's put some perspective there. The entire sports industry in North America is about 70 billion. So think about this. The wearable tech industry is about half of the entire sports industry. That is telling us that this is going to be big and we are in the right place at the right time. So what I want to do at this point is stop talking for a minute and play you a 3-minute video that'll give you the highlights of what particular product we're talking about right now. Don't take it from me, introducing the Helo.
Introducing Helo, the world's first lifestyle oracle, a wearable wellness and health monitoring device unlike any other on the planet. Helo can monitor your most important vital signs and alert you if some of them are out of their normal range, helping you understand, manage, and control your lifestyle and well-being. Helo can even sense your emotions. It understands whether you are excited or fatigued, or even if you just need a break. Not only does Helo monitor your important measurements, but it also produces a daily, weekly, or even monthly report that you can provide to your trainer or physician. Once you pair your Helo with a smartphone application, you can track the most important vital signs and well-being of yourself and your loved ones. Unlike most devices on the market, Helo performs the measurements in real time while you are doing your daily activities, walking, running, and even sleeping. This sophisticated technology, developed with an eye toward artificial intelligence, allows Helo to learn about you day by day, constantly improving in accuracy and performance. Helo can guide you to better behaviors and lead you to healthy habits. Now you can go about your day with total peace of mind, and that is a priceless feature. Also, you can easily download a wide range of other features through the Helo App Store. Thanks to the powerful OpenAPI 2.0, the exclusive Helo App Store allows developers to create and publish their own apps and plugins, further increasing the potential of the Helo and its functions. Developers have already created apps to monitor measurements not found on the basic Helo app, such as blood pressure and EKG. And this is just a sneak peek. The potential of the Helo is unlimited. Finally, don't forget the benefits of the 99.9% pure germanium stones. The germanium stones fit snugly against your skin on the inside of the Helo wristband and may provide a number of wellness benefits. All these fantastic features led to Helo being voted the best direct selling product of 2017. Now that you've seen the power of this revolutionary product, we're convinced you're ready to order a Helo for you and for each of your family members. Even better, you can be a main actor in this business by entering our customer referral program and taking advantage of this pioneering phase, you can develop a completely independent business, all by bringing health and wellness to thousands of people. Many others have already joined our movement. What are you waiting for? This is your time to become a world changer.
Guys, I just want to ask you a question. Put your answer in the chat box. Are you familiar with Fitbit? Yes or no? Are you familiar with Fitbit? Yes or no? Most of you will be, some of you won't, but Fitbit is very similar to the Helix. It's very basic. It measures your heart rate, your steps, and your sleep, I think it does. A Hilo is a whole different product, but let me do this. Let me ask you a second question. I'd love to hear your answer in the chat box. Fitbit started back in 2008, 10 years ago. They have since morphed into a $2 billion company. You can buy Fitbits almost anywhere. As a matter of fact, I saw a Fitbit for sale in my grocery store the other day. Here's the second question. If you could go back to 2008, get started with Fitbit, and they told you that they would pay you on every single Fitbit sold, whether you sold it or not, whether it was sold in Ghana, Australia, the United States, the UK, would you go back to 2008 and get started with Fitbit? Yes or no? Well, I think that is kind of a crazy answer, right? Obviously you would, right? You'd be cray-cray not to. The Hilo is a Fitbit on steroids. It not only measures the things that a Fitbit does, your heart rate, your breath rate, your calories, and your sleep, but it also does your mood, your energy. It has a guardian function. And what that means is if I am wearing one, as a matter of fact, I have an elderly mother-in-law, and guys, can you not draw on the screen? That would be awesome. I have an elderly mother-in-law, and she's 94. And before I knew about this device, she had fallen and hurt herself in her apartment and laid there for a day and a half. If she had been wearing the Fitbit, all she would have had to do is, I don't know if you can see this, press the panic button on the side, and we would have been notified and be able to go help her. Moreover, if you want to, you can share the information that the Hilo tracks with your personal trainer, with your doctor, or with people you love. So for example, if somebody in your family has some problems, maybe they're being followed by, someone's following them at school, or maybe they get lost, or God forbid they get in a car accident or something, you'll know because you'll be immediately notified that their vital signs are not right, right? So if somebody gets sick, or their blood pressure gets low, or blood pressure gets high, you'll also be notified. This is only the beginning. With the App Store, we have developers all over the world that are developing apps. I'm going to talk about one in particular in a few minutes, but apps that are in development are blood oxygenation, blood alcohol. So that has huge, the entire state of Israel is looking to buy the Hilo for their entire police force to make sure that they're not drinking while they're on their job. There's a guy in Hungary developing a lie detector. Whether or not a woman is ovulating. And I know that's kind of a weird thing to talk about on a presentation, but I don't know any woman under the age of 50 and over the age of 20 that doesn't want to know, right? So these are apps. These are apps that are in development, and the App Store is wide open. The developers are wide open, and it's open to any developer, and it's only limited by the imagination of the thousands of developers out there that are already developing apps for the device. We have two Hilos currently, the Hilo LX and the Hilo LX Plus. The difference is simply that the Hilo LX Plus has clinical grade sensors. It has different size bands, and it's a much more sensitive device, because our #1 app that is coming out within the next few weeks-ish is blood glucose monitoring. Guys, 1 in 9 people in the United States has diabetes. 1 in 11 around the world. That is millions and hundreds of millions of people that are faced with having to lance their fingers and prick their fingers and get a little bit of blood out. What if, and this isn't even a what if, when this comes out, won't you think that people that are facing blood sugar problems will want to have a non-invasive app on their arm that can test their blood glucose levels so that they don't have to prick their fingers. And interestingly enough, I was talking to an emergency technician the other day, and he said, Carla, it isn't even the problem with that their blood gets out, their blood sugars get out of order. What happens is people don't like to do it, so they don't measure their blood sugar levels. So what if we could ensure that somebody did simply because they wore a device on their arm that non-invasively measured their blood sugar trends? I think game over, frankly. Last year, which was our very first year in business, we actually sold over 500,000 smart bands within our first 2 months. And that put us, check this out, in 4th place in the world in smart band sales. Not bad for just the very first wave and the very beginning of this company. There is no comparison between us and the other smart bands out there. Samsung, Apple, Fitbit, Microsoft, Garmin, they all have bits and pieces of what we have here, but none of them do EKG, blood pressure, breath rate, mood, emotion, fatigue. They don't have remote sensing for others. They don't have information sensing, a panic button, obviously blood sugar, and then the big one, guys, the reason why you are here today, none of them are going to pay you for sharing the information. So last year we sold over 800,000 Helos. We're going to certainly hit over 2 million this year, which puts over $120 million in people's pockets, just like you and me and Christopher. Now, on to our next product. I don't think I have to tell you that almost everybody has a mobile phone. Does anyone know anyone that doesn't have a mobile phone? I don't think, so I don't need to tell you that this is a huge market. Well, I also probably don't need to tell you that most of us have been warned not to hold these devices near our bodies. As a matter of fact, if you look at the instructions when you receive your phone, it tells you don't put it next to your head. It tells you don't sleep with it near you. The World Health Organization has recently issued guidelines saying keep this device away from you. The entire state of California, which is the 8th largest economy in the entire world, recently also released guidelines and said, keep this away from you. This is not a new idea that these devices, your tablets, your computers, your laptops, your cell phones, all emit radiation that has negative consequences for you. So what I'd like to do is introduce our next product.
Did you know that every day we experience the effects of an invisible enemy called electrosmog? Huge numbers of electrowaves hit our bodies, causing damage to our cells and amplifying stress and low mood sensations. But there's a solution. This is BioZen, the first sticker antenna that reduces the harmful effects of electrosmog. BioZen is scientifically and medically proven to protect you against photo radiation. It uses the latest innovations in layered thin chip technology to actively protect your body against all of your electrically powered devices 24/7. No matter how or why you use your devices, BioZen is scientifically verified to reduce magnetic field radiance, defend against changes in your blood profile, and lower your body's stress levels. Here's how BioZen works. Our bodies use low frequencies for internal communication, and the frequencies that our cell phones emit in this range continuously interfere with this communication. For example, an active phone call creates a low-frequency electromagnetic field in close vicinity to the cell phone. It contains gaps and peaks, which are called radians. BioZen disassembles these peaks into smooth progressions that make the electromagnetic fields tolerable for our bodies. What is the result? Your body is under less stress and is protected while using mobile devices. BioZen was recently approved as a Class 1 medical device in Europe and is simple to use. Just place it on any device that has a battery or that emits radio frequencies. So what are you waiting for? Find peace of mind with BioZen.
This little chip can protect you and anyone you know that works with everyone you know that has a cell phone, a tablet, a laptop, etc. And again, these are proven. This is not something that some scientist made up somewhere. It is now an official Class 1 medical device in Europe and is going through FDA approval here in the United States. So again, this is a beautiful, beautiful way for us to be able to protect ourselves and most importantly, guys, our kids and our friends' kids. So just a little bit of highlights about the company. Fabio Galdi is a tech wonderkind. He's our CEO and president. He's been responsible for building the second largest ISP for you tech people out there in Europe. And I just want to highlight this guy here on the lower right. Antonio De Rosa is our chief design officer. He comes to us from Apple Computing, where he was responsible for designing the iPhone 6, 7, and partly responsible for designing the Apple Watch. So all of our products are designed in Europe, in Italy. Italians are known for their design functions, are engineered in Silicon Valley, and are manufactured in China. A little bit more about the company, tons of accolades all the way. So you can feel, I've already mentioned some of these. We've got the top company, the DSA, #1 product in direct sales. Guys, I just want you to feel comfortable about who you're aligning yourself with, because again, who you work with is vitally important. So #1 question I get after people say, okay, cool, the company's good, is like, how do I market this? How do I reach people all over the globe that are looking for exactly what we have here? And that is super simple. We have a very, very extraordinarily simple marketing plan. It's actually the simplest marketing system I've ever seen. We have a marketing system that we built for you called the WGN Toolbox. But most importantly, you guys have all probably seen that short 2-minute video that I shared with you at the beginning. You might have already seen that video. Anybody see that already? That video, every single person of the 800,000 sales that we made last year were started by seeing a simple 2-minute video. I saw a 2-minute video on Facebook. And a lot of drama was happening. My mother-in-law had fallen down, my husband was in the hospital, and my Fitbit had fallen off my arm. And I immediately said I wanted one. It was that easy. I didn't even know there was a business opportunity attached to it. So 2730 system. Then, of course, we have pre-built, high-converting, personalized marketing pages. If you don't know what I'm saying there, that's okay. We'll teach you. The important thing is that you can get the word out anywhere in the world, and that is simply because again, we've surrounded ourselves. I'm an internet marketer. My advisor John Lavinia is an internet marketer. My other advisor Ramasio Fulcher is the gentleman that made $2.5 million here. We have the best of the best in the world of marketing training from experienced marketing professionals, so that you can simply and easily build your business in your backyard if you want to, but anywhere in the world. And we'll show you how to attract people that are already looking for what you have, whether it's customers or business builders like you guys. So how do you get started? It's really easy. You choose which level you want to get started at. So let's get to the meat and potatoes, guys. Most people, when they get started here, choose to get started with what's called a professional pack. A professional pack. And the reason they do that isn't because it's the most expensive. It's just because this professional pack puts it's for people that are serious about building a big business here, but it also is the one where you can actually make your money back the fastest. And so it is $3,500. You get 4 Hilo LX Pluses, our premier product. You get 4 germanium kits and 4 band kits, but you also get 72 BioZen stickers. And you might be thinking, okay, so what do I do with 72 BioZen stickers? You all raised your hand earlier saying, I know people that have cell phones, right? I have somebody on my team that in 30 minutes sold over 600 BioZens just by texting out information. I apologize, the gardeners are here making noises. By texting out information to our friends, like saying, how many do you want? Some wanted 9, some wanted 3, somebody wanted 2, right? We all are surrounded by radiation from our devices, including our microwaves. So that is our professional pack. The second level to get started at is what's called our builder level. And we have various builder packs here. If I went through all of them, you would get totally confused. So I'm gonna focus on these two. Because both of these, the Helo Mix, which gives you 2 Helos LXs and 4 Helo LX, 2 Helo LX Plus, that's a good place to start. You want to make sure you get our premium product. Either one of these are great places to start. The Builder Pack is $1,749, and the Helo LX Plus Builder Pack is $2,099. Again, these are just based on your personal preference. These do not, whichever one of these you choose, doesn't make any difference in your income. It's just up to you. But these are the 2 other popular ones here. And lastly, if you want to become a customer, you can choose to just purchase a Helo LX, a Helo LX Plus, or a 10-pack of Biozen. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, one last thing, all of us that are business builders here participate in what's called our loyalty membership. It is $59 a month, but the cool thing is that World Global Network makes it very, very juicy to participate. Not only do you get the Pro app for everybody that you know that you give the Helo to, but you get a protection plan. What that means is if for some reason your Helo falls off your arm and gets run over by your car, or maybe you wear it in the pool for too long and you drown your Helo, you'll get a brand new one. Frankly, guys, this is probably the best part, the last part of the loyalty membership that I love. World Global Network puts an extra 1% into what they call a money box. For you guys in the United States here, we call them piggy banks. I have no idea where that came from, but we call them piggy banks. And they'll put an extra 1%. So at the end of the year, you can break open your piggy box, your money bank, and you can buy a car or you can go on a vacation. So that's an extra 1% of your income every single week. So again, who you work with is vitally important here. These are our team leaders. Now, Business for Home publishes on the web the top income earners in the world every single month. And Chad and Natita Purnapatura, their year is going to be about $14 million. These are our leaders, guys. Ramasio Fulcher is our direct mentor. He's the gentleman that made $2.5 million last year. Now, I want to say to you, you might be thinking, who cares? That guy made so much money. Here's why you should care. The only reason that he made that kind of income is simply because he turned around and helped people like you and me create extraordinary incomes as well, which is exactly what I'm doing and the reason for my success, and exactly what Christopher is doing when you decide to jump on board. That is the key to everything here. We work as a team. Nobody's left behind. You are part of a movement that is moving fast. So my question to you is, and you can put this in the chat machine, chat box, do you want to be part of this non-invasive blood sugar monitoring? Do you want to have a piece of that pie? There are over 400 million people in the United States only. So if only 1% of those bought a Helo, that is $1.6 billion in sales and 800 million commissions paid out. I bet there's not one person on this Zoom that doesn't know somebody that is facing either pre-diabetes, diabetes, or is looking to monitor their sugar levels. You are right at the very, 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 very beginning. So my question to you, my next question to you is, we've said to Christopher, we said, listen, we're going to give you a window of opportunity, 72 to maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 days to really look at who you want to be in your leadership group, who you want to be at the very, very, very top of your organization. The way this works, and I'll explain this a little bit more in a second, is simply everybody that gets started is a vertical line down, one right after the other, right after the other. And so we said, Chris, you've got a certain amount of time to put your key people in place. So my question to you is, do you want to be part of Christopher's leadership group? Because Christopher is going to fill those leadership positions ASAP. And if we give you the chance today to be have one of those top positions, and the best part about that is earn income from every single device sold that comes after you, whether you sold it yourself or whether it was sold by somebody else in Sydney or New York or Buenos Aires or Mexico City or London. Would you want a piece of that pie? Would you want that position today? I can't imagine that your answer is anything other than yes. I can't see your answers, but if you nod your head, I will be able to see that. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so again, I just want to say this in closing, positioning is the key. The way this works, again, is a straight line down. That's just the way the compensation plan works. So if you choose to get started today, you'll be put right here, and everybody that gets started the next minute and the next minute and the next minute goes down underneath of you, and that could be thousands of people. I know that Christopher knows some major players. As a matter of fact, you're probably listening to my voice right now. You want that major player to get started underneath you rather than over you. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do, I'm going to go back to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to go back to what I said at the very beginning of our conversation. Timing is everything, and who you work with is everything. The third piece, the work, I can't answer for you. You have to be able to answer that, yes, you're willing to do the work. So who you working with? I'm just going to say Ramasio Fulcher, number 16 in the world, pours himself into our team every single day. John Lavinia, an amazing individual who has coached hundreds of thousands of people around the world over the past 15 years, part of your leadership team. And of course, the amazing Christopher Kelly, who is the reason that you are here listening to my voice today, an amazing teacher, trainer, coach that I'm totally grateful to be working with, is in your corner as well. So you have the tremendous triad of people that you have an opportunity to work with. And of course, you already know the company is a blue chip company with blue chip partners like Toshiba, a company that has amazing technology. I don't think I need to go over that anymore. Timing. I think I don't need to tell you that the timing couldn't be better. This industry is set to explode, but most importantly, is we're entering a whole new blue ocean of smart band technology, and we are entering the healthcare industry in a very big way by our sugar trend monitoring. That is a game changer for so many individuals all around the world. And if you want to have a piece of that, you are definitely in the right place at the right time. So my question to you, my last question to you is, and then I have a request or a demand, I guess you could put it. My last question to you is, are you ready to get to work? Because we've got the formula, the marketing system, obviously the product, but we have a group of individuals that is ready to roll up our sleeves and help you launch your business as soon as today or tomorrow in this exact same way. So here's what your next step is. So you might want to write this down if you get confused about anything at all. I want you to get back to Christopher as quickly as you can. I don't care how you do it, whether you text him, you get on your bike and you go over to his house, you smoke signals, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever you need to do to get back to him as quickly as you can. And you're going to want to let him know whether you're a 1, 2, or a 3. Number 1 is, this is awesome. I'm in, secure my spot, let's go. Number 2, this sounds fantastic, but it's just not right for me right now. And number 3, I'm in, but I got a couple questions and I got to get them handled. Okay, so you're 1, you're in, this is awesome. Number 2, not for you right now. Number 3, this is awesome. I got a couple questions. Let's get them handled. I want to talk lastly to your number 3s. Christopher's on a time constraint. He's got to get his leadership team together ASAP. He's got just a few more, the time's ticking down. So if you're a person that has a couple questions, can you please just agree to get those questions handled within the next 24 hours? We'll get you all the information that you require to make a relaxed and informed decision. And just get back to him at latest in 24 hours. We need to get back to him after we're off, but then make your decision whether you're in or out in the next 24 hours. And that way he'll know who his core leaders are going to be moving forward and who he's going to be working with and helping create their financial legacy and their reinvention of themselves, just like I reinvented myself just those few years ago. So Christopher, thank you so much. It's been my honor to be here with all of you. I'm so excited to welcome, well, for some of you, you've already said yes. So I'll just say, welcome to the team. Christopher, back to you. Hold on, let me make sure I unmute you. There you go.
Hey, Carla, thank you so much. That was absolutely brilliant. I learned a lot. As you guys know, I entered this on Sunday at John Lavinia's invitation. I felt privileged to have that invitation to a private webinar, and I was blown away. And some of you, I've sent a copy of that webinar too, so you know what I'm talking about. Today's presentation by Carla was heartwarming and direct, and really hit the point home for me in a big way too. So Carla, thank you so very, very much for your effort there. I do hope you got this. This is an exploding market. You have an opportunity right now to become part of an amazing team. I mean, Carla's barely scratched the surface with what she said. We have got some of the best marketers on the planet in our team, and you will be in that team. Now imagine what that means to you. Because at the end of the day, there are 2 elements to this, and I think Carla hit very strongly on one of them. The people you work with is a major key, and the product, of course, is the major key. With those 2 pieces in place, plus an amazing marketing team to support you, how the hell can you fail? Pardon my French. Sorry, Pauline. Pardon my French. But there you go. I think this is the winner. I am 100%. I'm so excited. I can hardly bloody sleep. I'm literally just, you know, I can't even watch TV. I'm just back on my computer. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Come back to me as fast as you can. Let's get this show on the road. God bless you all. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Carla.